Okay, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just depends on if you're joining us live or you're watching the replay. I just want to welcome you to Lyonsview Realty Financial Fridays. My name is Clara Lyons-DeVaughn. I am the broker owner of Lyonsview Realty, and we provide residential, commercial for small businesses and nonprofits, and property management services. So I'm so glad that you joined us today. Lyonsview Realty, we launched Financial Fridays to really help you stay current on those trends that impact your bottom line. Our goal is to provide you with resources, information, and tips to assist you in making the best financial decisions. And our commitment is to maximize your wealth building power now and in the future. So glad you tuned in today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to like and share this video. Our guests today are here as a resource to you. So please feel free to ask questions. You can put them in the comment section if you are joining us live. And if not, joining the replay, we will answer your questions. So put them in the chat section. And I have a really phenomenal guest today, Miss I shouldn't say Miss Dr. Millicent Davis, and she is official. I was at her graduation. I met Miss Davis, Dr. Davis, quite a while ago when I first came to New Jersey, and she was introduced to me by a mutual friend, and we started talking, and we hit it off, and we have been friends and business associates and sisters in Christ ever since. And I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, for those of you who are tuning in previous segments, we were talking about how you get the most, how you are the most important person in your power team, right? Who you are, what you represent, your reputation. We talked a lot about reputation and your ethics, the ideas, the products, the services you create. All those things contribute to your wealth. And today we are going to address the difference between trademarks and copyrights, two methods that protect wealth that come from the intellectual property that you create. So, intellectual property, we know can be kind of tricky. It's a tricky thing to understand, but navigating it properly can mean the difference between waging a vicious court battle to protect your legal interests or quietly enjoying the fruits of your creative labors. So, two of the most frequently confused intellectual property rights are copyrights and trademarks. So, if you're in the business of creating unique goods for placement in the stream of commerce, it is essential that you understand the difference between the two. So, our guest today, Dr. Millicent Davis, will help us understand the difference and will give us some tips, which might be the right for your business needs. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Davis is an author, a business services consultant, a professor, a real estate developer, a wife, a mother, and definitely my friend. So, just thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's start. If you could just tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think you've done all that. Like Clara said, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, which I think that's the greatest accomplishment, a grandmother that I could have. I'm an author. I wrote a self-help book called Being a Visionary, Going After Your Vision. And I'm an entrepreneur. I own a small business consulting company in Williamstown, New Jersey. I also am a professor for Rowan College, Burlington County, as well as Rutgers University.
Awesome. And tell us about the name of your company and what services it provides.
So the name of our company is KMD Business Consultants. We are an LLC. And just like my book, Being a Visionary, Going After Your Vision, the vision for KMD Consulting is to help businesses bring their business conceptions to reality. And our mission is to educate and train you how to carry on that vision, hopefully without us coming back when you need it. But we want you to have the tools to be able uh, to do the business to do what your business needs to do. So we have three divisions, and in our government services division, we offer procurement compliance to governmental entities. And in our real estate development division, of course, we do real estate development. And then in our business service division, we offer incubator service office space in Williamstown and in coming soon in Paulsboro and also Delaware, which is a veterans only incubator that we're opening up in Delaware. But in that incubator, we offer a host of business services. We virtual phone service, virtual office space, actual office space, as well as a host of business planning services, marketing, financial support, business management services. So, whatever our clients' needs, we are there. We are there for them with all those services. And
Awesome.
so, our newest product is trademark services, and I'm happy to talk to you about that today.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's get started. What is actually intellectual property? What is
So,
that?
intellectual property refers to the creation of the mind, such as inventions, literary and artistic works, designs, symbols, names, and images used in commerce.
And then kind of go ahead.
No, go
Were you
ahead.
gonna, oh, so what's the difference then if you are like, I guess, what's the difference like between a trademark and the copyright for that intellectual property?
Sure. So, copyright protection distinction creates generally copyright against intellectual works like plays and music and things that you write, poems, or anything that you did yourself and you want to protect it, that you did the work. You want to get copyright protection. Trademarks apply to like symbols and names. It's a type of branding. So, for instance, if you see, you're in the mall and you see the star, you know that you're at Macy's. Macy's symbol is the star. If you see the swoosh symbol, you know that's Nike. So they trademark their name Nike. They trademark their swoosh symbol as well. And so those are things that trademark does. It protects your branding rights of what your creative mind have thought of.
So is like with Nike, the Just Do It, is that part of the trademark or is that part of the copyright protection?
So Just Do It is their tag. So
Mhm.
that would be part of their trademark. They trademark that. Correct.
Okay. It's so funny because way back in the day, the spirit gave me Just Do It and I didn't do anything with it. And so when Nike came out with Just Do It, I was like, I had that, but I didn't trademark it, right? I didn't protect the idea. So, and then that I get the check mark is like that means
Right.
complete. Yeah.
So
It's
as we go along and talk, you will find that when they have Just Do It, they probably have to also have the swoosh and the Nike name. They can't just trademark Just Do It. It has to
Mhm.
go along with their symbol and their name.
Okay. So
Uh,
my Just Do It and their Just Do It could be two totally separate.
correct.
Ah, and then
Correct.
gotcha.
Correct.
That's good to know.
Mhm.
So overall, if a person has a trademark or a copyright, what actually does that provide for the business? What does it mean to have, what protection?
So,
What's the advantage of doing it, I guess is the
so
question.
the copyright protects the rights of people who, create those things. The trademark protects the slogans. So the protections are legally distinct and they are managed by two different trademark offices. So you take the time to create these things. You take the time to create your brand, your logo, what you're doing out there. So you want to protect it so that nobody else can use it. Now, what I'm finding is that there's different categories in a trademark, and you have to pick the category that you want your logo or your name trademarked in. So if you wanted to use it, Lyons Realty, for your website, you would trademark it for your website. If you wanted to use it on a T-shirt and you wanted that trademark, you would have to pay an additional fee to trademark it for a T-shirt.
Really? For clothing? Oh my.
For
Okay.
clothing, exactly.
Mhm.
So, but it's how it's the importance to you, what you feel you want, want to trademark. And that's what we kind of go over with our clients to make sure that they get into the right category and what they want to do.
So someone could trademark across different categories. They could trademark for online commerce, they could trademark for retail, they could trademark for whatever the other two categories are.
Yeah, there are 41 categories.
Wow, 41. That's a lot.
41 categories, and you have to see where you fit into those categories. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you were saying there's a cost just to set up the first trademark initially. How
So
much is
the United States Trade and Patent and Trademark Office is $275 a class for one class. They call it classes. One
it?
class of
So if you were to trademark all 41 classes, it would be 275 times 41.
correct.
Indeed. And that's why
Indeed.
sometimes it's so
It
expensive.
gets costly. And some people say that trademark, I have a patent. We patent something that we call the tree zip. That costs a lot of money. So some people say, oh, trademark doesn't cost as much as a patent, but in essence, it could. It really could to get the full protection.
Got you. Now, patent wasn't on our list of things to talk today, but just distinguish, between the trademark, the copyright, and the patent one more time as people are
So
joining.
the patent, you're protecting a product, okay? And you have to prove that your product is different than anybody else's out there. I don't care what it is. In fact, because we patent something called a tree zip, and it was something that you wrapped your tree in, your Christmas tree in, to take it out after after Christmas. But yet they were classifying us as something that was that someone used in medicine. Yes, and so we had to distinguish ourselves from the difference from that to get the trademark. So it's quite unique what they put you through. But once you get it, it's yours. Long as you pay the renewal fees and all of that. Now, the trademark is for a slogan or a name or a logo, and a copyright would be for something like if you wrote a play, a music. Wrote some music, wrote poems, and my husband used to write poems. I used to copyright them. And something was out there that was called the poor man's copyright.
Mhm.
No, no more.
Is that the envelope thing? So that's not true.
That's not true.
The envelope is a myth.
Right. It's not first to no, it's the first one who passes and gets it and actually applies for it. That doesn't hold up in court. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So, let's go back to that. So for copyright, if the envelope thing isn't how you do it, what is the proper way to do a copyright?
You have to submit it to the Copyright Office. Submit your work, pay your fee. They will do their research to make sure that no one out there has done it before. That takes time. It takes time for all of them to get through the process. And then if they can deem that it is actually your work, you do have protection that no one else can go after your work, your music. You hear about all this in the music industry that someone took Michael Jackson or Michael Jackson took someone else's music, and then they go to court to prove it. So,
yeah. So basically, all of these protections are financial protections. So you can actually go sue someone for using your trademark, your copyright, your patent
yeah,
inappropriately.
you send them a cease and desist letter first. If they don't stop, then you actually can take them to court. And then, there's money involved in that. If you win, I'm sure you can recoup that. But, you hope not to get to court. You hope the cease and desist letter does the trick. But yeah.
Indeed. So how long does the process take? Or let's back up. How long is it good for? So I've applied for my trademark. You know, is it how long is it good for? A year, 2 years? Like what's the length before you have to do renewals?
Okay, so unlike patents and copyrights, trademarks do not expire. You have them for life,
Oh,
but
okay.
you have to do registrations every 10 years.
Okay.
Um,
Registration is paying a fee or sending in paperwork and paying a fee.
doing a little paperwork and paying a fee of $300.
Okay. That's
Okay.
for the trademark.
Like, yeah, a
Okay.
copyright, it does expire and you have to, keep up with putting the paperwork in and paying a fee, as well as with a patent. You have so many years and your patent will expire.
Okay.
When you think of the medicine, I'm trying to think of ideas where you can understand it. Medicine has a patent for so many years, and then other people then join in and do generic, and it
Mhm.
brings down the cost of the medicine. So that's the way it goes with patents as well.
Gotcha. So, you're trademarked for life. So Lyonsview Realty trademark is mine forever.
Forever.
But with the government entities, I just have to um,
Yeah.
re-register it basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
And pay the fee for
Yeah.
the re-registration. Gotcha. Okay. So what companies grant the trademark and the copyright? Is it the same place or?
So trademarks fall under the auspices of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office,
Okay.
and copyrights are granted by the U.S. Copyright Office.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Gotcha. And if I am a new business or if I am an existing business, like when in the business life cycle should a business implement a trademark? Like when is it important to say, oh, I should start trademarking or I should think about trademarking or copywriting my work?
And that's very, very, very important because once you go to the trademark office, one of the things they're going to look for is to see that you're using it. You can't trademark something. Well, you could, but for the most part, you can't trademark something that you aren't using. So you can't
Mhm.
just hold it in your pocket and say, I'm going to hold it and people are going to pay me lots of money, because a lot of people do patents like that. They patent things, and then if somebody comes up with the idea, they'll say, oh, you have it, and they'll go pay the patent person the money to get the patent. Not with trademarks. You have to be out there using it on your website, on a business card. You have to show that you're using it. And what I have found is their trademark office is looking for you using it for at least a year.
Mm, okay. That's good.
So you wanna make sure that you're actually using it. And then, what was I gonna say? You want to,
We were talking about the life cycle of when it's important to implement it in your business.
okay.
Mhm.
So you wanna make sure it's something that you really love. For
Mhm.
me, KMD had many logos until this last one that we are going to patent, because you go through many things, and it may not be the right one. You use it because you want to use something, but it's not what you really love. When you found that thing that you really love and you're going to stick with, that's when you want to think about trademarking, because you don't want to waste the money in doing trademarking things that you're not going to really use. And if you don't use it, you lose it. You have to show that you're using it, that you're actually using it.
Gotcha. So if, when people first get started, they may have one particular logo associated with their brand, and it could, in fact, transition over time
Right.
as their idea gets, clearer, the vision gets clearer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So at the point where they think they're really attached, is that that's the point for real when they should think about trademarking that logo or that brand.
You really need to think about trademarking and be using it. Actually use it.
And you have to use it. And you were saying sometimes they look to make sure you've used it for at least a year before they.
Correct. So, like, sometimes if you're getting a trademark for using a logo on your website, they want you to send a snapshot of your website and put the date that you took the picture. And
Mhm.
then, so they're looking for history when they do these trademarks and these copyrights and patents.
Gotcha. So what questions come up the most concerning these areas when people are reaching out to you? What kind of questions do they typically have?
The most thing is the question is about the categories, the classes. They get a little, they think that they have a trademark and they've trademarked their whole business, and the question comes up as to, or the issue comes up as to, well, is that, that's a little tough on what they didn't know. Also that um there's a difference between a US trademark and an international trademark. An
Mm,
international trademark costs a lot more than a US trademark.
gotcha. Gotcha. So the questions come up around the 41 categories that
Exactly.
yeah, and if they wanna pay for those 41 categories, what
Correct.
the value is for them, and
Correct.
the difference between the US and the international. Got it.
Yeah.
So, you talked a little bit about it, but can you go back over the process to trademark, um,
So let me get a little
just
history out.
to copyright?
Yeah. So to trademark,
Mhm.
you you could do it yourself, you really could, but if you wanted to, you would go to a company such as an attorney, an accountant, and then that person or you would be responsible for researching the internet yourself before you go to the trademark office, just to make sure there's nothing out there.
Okay.
um, if you find that there's nothing out there with your name or your logo or some of the words in your logo, then you're ready to then now start the application process.
Okay.
Um, and then you put the application process together for the office and what you're going to apply. And then once office gets it, it takes them between almost a year to get approved for a trademark.
Mhm.
So the biggest things is just the research and then putting the application together so that you're not denied on your application, and you're not denied because they found something out there for you, because you do not get that money back. Whether they accept you or deny you is
Ooh,
gone.
right, okay.
So then you want, if and when you get approved, you also want to get someone that's going to always look for your logo if someone's using your logo. So you want a company that will keep searching to make sure that no one is infringing on your protection, because it's your job. And if you don't take care of it, you may lose it that way.
Mm,
Because if that person has been infringing on your protection and they've been doing it for 3 to 5 years, the trademark office may not give you your renewal registration. You've lost it because you didn't take care of, making sure that no one's using it.
wow,
So
okay.
it's important once you get it to keep up with keeping your trademark.
And is that across all of the categories? So, like, on the online
Absolutely.
commerce, on the retail commerce? Okay, okay,
Yeah. So with us, we give you a year of once you pay the initial cost of working with us, we search the internet for a year to make sure that no one's using it. And then if you want, after that year, you'll pay an additional fee for us to continue to keep searching the internet, um, to make sure that no one's using it. So it's expensive. It's really is expensive to keep it up and to get it. Mhm.
okay. Well, we always talk about counting the cost,
Counting the
right?
cost.
Yeah, counting the cost for it, but it's important, especially if you're developing a brand, that is, generating, income for you
That's right.
to protect, protect your intellectual property.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do wanna say it's important. Count the cost, yes, but, it's something to put in a budget. It's something because you do wanna protect your brand, what you thought of. Like you said, you thought of, that slogan, a while ago. I can look back on my daughter coming to me when she was younger and talking about things that I see that are happening now. And I'm like, man, why didn't I jump on that?
Mhm.
So it's important to protect your brand, to protect your ideas. Those are your intellectual property. They cost money. They are worth something. A lot of people don't know the worth in their intellectual ideas.
Indeed, indeed, that is so true. So I want to shout out to Audra and Helen. Helen said she's coming to you.
Oh,
So
Helen.
we have Dr. Wilson Davis from KMD Consulting, and they actually will assist you in the process of setting up your trademark or your copyright service, or what do you call it, a mark? I don't know.
Trademark, yes. And
Yeah,
service mark. Mm-hmm.
yes, your service mark.
Hmm.
Thank you. For your company. So I have a specific question that came up. It's if a company has several companies. So, and I'll use my company as an example. I have Lyonsview Realty, which is my real estate company,
Uh-huh.
Lyonsview Academy, which is the educational arm,
Hmm.
and Lyonsview Lifestyle, which is I'm a vegan realtor, and so that's the foodie in me. But it's really about health and wellness, right, for people. So should Lyonsview is my brand, having a Lyonsview lifestyle. So should the trademark would I have to trademark all three companies or all three brands separately, or is it branding Lyonsview and then the babies, how does that, what's the best way, I guess, for companies that have multiple brands under the same parent brand? Um,
So I guess to best explain that is how you use it. If
okay.
you use it if you use Lyonsview Realty and then you're using it on your vegan recipes, unfortunately, yes, you would have to get the logo to go with your vegan recipes. That's a different class.
Gotcha.
If you're using, so pretty much, yes, you would have to get several
Mhm.
patents.
Gotcha. So if they're different logos for the different businesses, then each of those with the name would have to be trademarked separately
Right.
for
Now, if
people who have
you're
multiple
using
brands.
the same website for all of that,
No.
then you're not. You're using separate,
Yeah.
okay, media outlets. Okay, so yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking like Damon John. He has FUBU, and he has all these companies, and they're all branded separately. So I'm assuming he has trademarks for
And you know he does.
all the different companies. And for those people who are listening, who have multiple things going on, as we do,
Yes.
got lots of different projects in place, and so okay. So that answers that question. So if you have any questions, people who are watching us live, definitely put it in the comment section so we can see it, and Dr. Millicent can answer those questions while she is on. Um, I think I asked you this question already. How long should a company be in business before considering a trademark? You had answered that question already, but if you want to.
Yeah, it's kind of not how long you've been in business, it's how long you've been using whatever you want to trademark, your logo or your name. Our company's been in business since 2014. We are just getting to the point, 2020, that we're going to trademark our logo.
Okay.
Um, you know, uh, a lot of my clients have been asking us about it. I really, we were into different projects, and then we, had the time to really research it and get it as a product under our company. So it just depends on how long you've been using the logo. If you love the logo, if you love the name, and you can prove you've been using it for a while, because that's what the trademark office looks at, then you can go ahead and do it.
Wow. Well, this has really been some great, great information. I learned a few things. One, you're trademarking your name and your brand,
Yes,
and there are 41 categories
41
that you
categories.
can trademark in, and you have to pay for each of those categories. There's a
Yeah.
setup fee for the original one, and then all the additional ones. That's an additional fee. The process can take About how long?
Probably a year
It's
for it
about a
to
year.
happen. Yeah, after you get your application in, it'll be about 9 months. Mhm.
Oh, okay. So
But
count
it's
on
gonna
a
take some
year.
time to get that application together to make sure we get you in the right class, and make sure that you're comfortable with everything.
Okay, so it takes about a year for the process, and also you should be in business at least a year to make sure that that you're passionate about and you love that thing that you want to trademark because it is an expensive process. So you just kind of want to be sure that that's the brand that you want to move forward. And also, they're going to be looking to see that you've used that brand or that trademark for that period, period of year. And then the trademark doesn't cover just if you wanna do international, that's separate from the US.
That's a whole 'nother animal, yes.
Right, so
That's
those
a
are
lot
2
more money.
separate groups of trademark. You have to do one and or the other,
Correct.
and
Correct.
that's additional cost for that. Okay. Okay, this is a lot. So, what does KMD so if I wanted to hire your company to, handle this process for me, what service do you provide to the client?
So, we're not doing the international yet. We just do the United States now, and to do that is $1,500. Within that $1,500, the 275 is included. The engine search to connect with the engine search company that will do the searches on the internet before, during, and after. That includes a year after. And that includes our services with putting it all together, the application, consulting with you about the category, doing the research about the category, and all of that. So,
Awesome.
$1,500.
Awesome, and yeah, that was the other thing that I learned today is that the trademark is for a lifetime, but you do have to renew, or re-register it. Is
You
that
have to re-register it, and you have to make sure that no one has infringed on your protection. It's up
okay,
to you. And if you don't capture it, you may lose it that way.
okay, and what's the time frame for re-registering it again?
10 years.
10 years, so you have to register it, and within those 10 years, you have to be checking to make sure no one else is
Absolutely, yes.
infringing on your rights.
Mhm.
Okay. I think you answered the other question I'm seeing, which is, does the trademark cover international or USA? And right now, it's USA unless they request
International, right.
international. And do you handle international trademarks, your company, or just the USA?
We can,
Mhm.
but I don't have a cost for that yet. We're just kind of focusing on US trademarks for right now.
Okay. I'm looking in the comment section, and I'm not seeing any other questions at this time. So is there anything else that you just want to share about, this topic or your company before we wrap? How do people contact you? I see your phone number there. Is there a website or email
Yes.
address? Yeah.
So our website is KMD Business Consultants with an S.com. We're on Facebook at KMD Consulting, and we're in Williamstown, New Jersey, and our email is info@kmdbusinessconsultants.com.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you have a trademark or a copyright, if you need assistance in that area, definitely reach out to KMD Consultants. I want to thank Dr. Millicent Davis for joining us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, and our guests are here as a resource to you. So definitely reach out to Dr. Davis and KMD for their services. And whether you're watching this live or the replay, just remember to like, share, and subscribe. There are other people who I'm sure would benefit from this information as well. I've definitely learned a lot today. So you can post your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions, and definitely any additional questions in the chat. If we don't catch them on the live, we will get back to you with an answer as well. So if you want to reach out to Lyonsview Realty or our company, our information is usually scrolling across the bottom. I am remiss today.
Oh,
There
there
it
it goes.
is. So you can contact us Contact us at 856-209-0905 or info@lyonsviewrealty.com. I just want to thank you for watching today. Financial Fridays is here as a resource to you. We provide resource information and tips on trends that impact your bottom line. So we hope that you receive something of value today. As always, we send love, light, and prayers out to anyone who has lost a loved one. If you have someone in the hospital and you can't see them for whatever reason, if you're experiencing the impact of physical distancing, and definitely to our essential employees who are out there working to provide needed services in healthcare, food services, transportation, police, fire, and most definitely our leadership. I just want to encourage everyone, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and stay safe. Wear your mask. My name is Clara Lyons-DeVaughn. Financial Friday streams every Friday on Facebook and YouTube at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to join us again next Friday. Until then, keep living your best life. Thank you, Dr. Davis. So
Thank
love you.
you.
So love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.